and love creators. So basically, your girl has been munching, okay? So I'm a health coach. I know all the things. I know, like, if you're munching, identify your emotions, identify the trigger, all that good stuff. But you know what, sis? Like, nothing was really working. And it's been a lot of challenges I've been going through the past couple of months, like basically the past year, to be honest. And it's just been crazy. Like, if I just share with you the things I've been through, you'd be like, sis, yeah, I get it. But it's been crazy. And it's winter now where I am. I'm in DC. And when it's cold outside, you be wanting something to keep you warm. And a sister is in the season of singleness. So I've been munching a lot. Like, and even if I'm munching like on healthy things, too much of a good thing can still expand your waistline. Okay, so I was like, what is it? Because like the other day, I just kept eating. And I was just like, yo, like, you're full. Why do you keep eating? But it was like something inside of me wasn't satisfied, even though physically my stomach was full. So I started to I just sat with myself and I was just like, yo, what is going on? I actually watched this podcast about dopamine. And I was like, you know what? I think maybe like my dopamine receptors are like shot and I'm trying to seek pleasure, but it's like everything that I'm doing, nothing is really working. So, and I've been getting my pleasure from food. And of course, like, food is pleasurable. Food is an experience, but it's a thin line between pleasure and gluttony. Okay. So I was like, okay, I have been deriving my pleasure from food and I need to stop that ish, right? And get back to, using food for nourishment, for, keep it in this healthy space, right? Instead of trying to rely on it to be the sole pleasure of my life. So I thought back and I was like, you know what? I love to do extended walks. And for a while, like, I wasn't able to walk because I have a hernia and your sister don't want really to get surgery. So I just be having to wait for it to do what it do and get back better. So I wasn't able to really walk. But even after that, I was getting my walks in, but I'd probably do like 30 minutes, in the rising, another 30 minutes, like in the evening or so if I had the bandwidth. But I wasn't really going on my extended walks. And I was like, you know what? Yesterday when I got up, I was like, I'm going to go on like a 2-hour walk. I love extended walks. Like, it brings me pleasure. Like, I just feel really good just listening to the birds and watching the squirrels play around and, like listening to the cars drive by and the wind. And it's just, I love it. I love being out in nature for an extended period of time. So I delayed like any food. I had like an apple. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out and eat and go out and get my walk in. I came back. I had my smoothie. And basically I ate like the way I used to eat. I ate very normally. Like, I wasn't like going back and forth for thirds and fourths. Like, my appetite wasn't as ravenous. And what I've realized is that I was starting to get back to getting my pleasure from other things, right? So I wasn't relying solely on food. And that made such a shift. Like, I'm like, oh. So I'm sharing this with you because maybe like you've been snacking a lot. Maybe you've been, you're like, I just want more. I need the sugar. I need the bread, and really think about it. Sometimes it's like you're trying to get pleasure out of your food because you're not getting pleasure or deriving pleasure from other areas in your life. And then you can't just rely on one sole thing, especially when it's food, because that joint is not healthy. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like, think about some other things that bring you a sense of joy. Maybe it's movement, like dancing or going on a hike. Or maybe you derive pleasure from taking nice long bubble baths and listening to music and having an incense lit and a candle. Maybe you derive pleasure from watching a good romance movie or connecting with friends and having deep conversations or reading a good book. Like, it's really important to find other ways to bring pleasure into your life. And it's just really interesting because I was literally going back and forth. Like, I was obsessing over the almond butter, and I just was like, I just needed more almond butter. I needed more almond butter. Like, nothing was making, like, I was like, yo, for real, you have just ate like 600 calories worth of almond butter. Like, this is insane. Like, get it together. So I think I had to reach a point where I was just kind of like sick of it. And then also I had to reach a point where I'm like, well, what else can I do? You know, like, what else is there, right? So, and then also, like, when you're single, you know, it's different because you don't have like your boo thing, right? That's there to cuddle you and hold you and, you know, connect with you in that special way. So I think for me, it was like all the challenges I've been going through over the past year, and also like trying to get back to what brings pleasure into my life. You know, a sister is celibate, you know, so like, what brings pleasure into my life? And that's a really powerful question to ask yourself. What brings you pleasure? Because we all deserve pleasure. We all want pleasure. But when we don't, how can I put it? Like, when we're not aware of like why we're doing certain things, like, it can become detrimental, you know? So like, me constantly going to the food was just like, you're gaining weight. Like, come on, you know? So I just, yeah, think about it. Think about it. Because sometimes things can just be so automatic. You're just like, you ever feel like, I just want something good to eat? I just want something really good. It's because sometimes it's just like in other areas of your life, it may not be going the way you want it. And, you know, like, food, it be hitting them dopamine centers. Like, honey, you be like, yes, I know I be eating, I be dancing, it be feeling all good. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to my extended walks, like, and just find other things that bring me pleasure. And also, like, it's important to delay gratification when it comes to certain things, especially like for me. So like, when it comes to food, I've been realizing like, okay, I'm gonna eat an apple or something, then I'll go for my walk, then I'll come back and I'll have like my breakfast, right? Instead of like having my breakfast first, and, you know, maybe I'm wanting some extra stuff in my breakfast, and then I'm like, oh, do I really want to walk? So it's like, I delay the gratification. So when I eat or have my good old smoothie, I'll be like, oh, it tastes so good. It's like that delayed gratification makes the food, makes the meal even more pleasurable. So it's like I'm getting more bang for my buck, honey. I got the walk in that brings me pleasure, and then I delay my gratification of having the breakfast, having the food, and then it's even more pleasurable. So if you've been having an issue with munching a lot, think about it. What brings you pleasure? So if you got any value out of this video, share it with another sister, because I know I'm not the only one who be having the munchies. Okay, so share, like, and subscribe, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you stay warm. Here in DC, it's pretty cold, and I'm like, oh my goodness, but I'm going to find some other ways to include pleasure in my day. So maybe I'll take a bath today. I don't know. We'll see. But do something pleasurable and make it not about food. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.